Let's look at a different way to build the roof. After Mr. Park offered a alternative solution for the overhang, I thought I'd go back and look at can we build this thing in one roof entity? I know I can get the main roof in one piece, but I want to see if I can add on the garage and the porch, and let's see how it works. So I want you to watch this, at least try the main roof part. Okay, so because it's a little bit different way of building roofs than what I showed you before. So I went back to week 2 and made a copy of my file from week 2 before I started putting the roof and stuff in. So that's what I'm working in. And I added a reference plane here. I'm on my top of wall plan level. I added a reference plane here, and I dimensioned it 29 feet 1 inch from the rear grid line. Now remember, our grid lines are on the exterior face of the sheathing. And if you look at the truss profile B on sheet, was that 4? It shows it at 29 feet and a half inch from the face of stud on the rear wall to the face of the girder truss over in the garage. So I can't dimension to the actual stud, but I've got a half inch of sheathing out there, so that's why I made it 29 and a half. So I did that. I added another level, and I called it just truss, and I brought it in here, and I dimensioned it at 1.5 inches up from my top of wall level, and I put that in, and then I locked it. Okay, that's where the top of my truss should line up over the face of the stud once I get it in. I did that. It kind of cuts down on having to draw those dimension lines, and I can see it in every view. Okay, so let's go back to here, and let's start with the roof. Okay, top of wall. And I'm going to start with a base offset of 1 foot. I don't know what it's going to be. I know it's going to be something like that. And I get my thing there. I go extend the core, define slope 1 foot, and I'm going to choose this wall. And then because I made this wall a stack wall, my face of core is not popping up correctly. So I've got to adjust that. Okay. And I'll show you. So here I'll go to dimension, and I'm going to dimension off of my grid line to there, and that needs to be 1 foot. Okay, now if you did not do a stack wall across this front, yours may work out just fine. Okay, so now let's go back to pick wall, extend the core, a 6-inch offset, no slope, and I'm going to pick this wall and this wall. All right, and now let's trim our corners together. Okay, that looks everything. Oh, slope should be 612. Okay, now first thing, check your dimension across the roof there. They should be equal, but they are not. All right, now we know we're going to have to fix that. So let's get our height set on our roof first. So let's go back to our section view. And I come in here and I can measure that up to the top of the actual truss. That shows me it's 2 and 53 1/28 inch. Okay, so let's change our base offset. I'm going to pull it down to 9 inches. And then I'll measure again, top of truss, to level is 75 and 1/28. So let's go back to our roof and make that 75 and 1/28. And the reason we're having to deal with a weird measurement is because we're going to the top of the truss itself, okay? Because that's where it crosses the wall. All right, so that gets it lined up in the correct place over this rear wall. Let's check our overhang just to make sure. 1 foot. Okay, so we're good. So this rear wall of the roof is correct. The front wall is not. And I'll show you how to fix that. What we do is here's an option that we have not used in this class before. And when you end up with roofs that are not lining up correctly, height-wise and ridge and stuff, you come over here to Align Eaves. And this shows me the height of the eave based off of the level. We have two options. We can adjust the overhang or we can adjust the height. In this case, we want to adjust the height. So I click on the rear one because that's correct. That's what I want. And if you read your command line down here, it tells you what you're doing. And so now I'll click this one, and it made them equal. I finish out my roof, and we're at 14.2. Okay, so I can come back here to check. I can zoom in right here. Okay, so you can see there it's, oh, dummy me. I did the same mistake I did before. I'm working off of the grid line when I should be off of face of stud. Dummy. Okay, so I got to draw a line there anyway. All right, so we know it's got to come down. Measure. Got to come down 1/4 of an inch. Ooh. Can I? Let me see. I won't do it. I tried. Okay. Ooh. Okay, so it'd be 75 minus 32. Syntax error. All right, 43. That's as close as I can get it. I remember from doing that before. If I change that to 44, 128, that's 11/32. It jumps it way up there. Let's see if I go to 256, that makes it 86, 87. Let's try that. Yeah, too much. Okay, so 9 and 43, 128 is as close as we're going to get on our roof offset there. And if I come over here, let's draw a line face of stud. And there it's crossing really, really, really close. Okay, so that's as close as we're going to get it. Okay, so this part of our roof is good. All right, now we have to work on this part up here. Yeah, we got to work on this part up here. Now this reference plane is where the roof, where the truss hits a girder truss. But you remember here at the porch, we've got a typical roof overhang, so we're going to build our roof based on that. And if we look at our floor plan, we can see we're 3 feet from the wall to the outside edge of the porch. And then we add a 12-inch overhang, so we're adding another 4 feet out this way. So here's what we're going to do, is we're going to come in here and we want to edit our footprint. Okay. And let's do a split segment. I'm just going to put it right there for the time being. And I'm going to go pick wall. Yeah, I'm going to pick wall. No overhang. Extend the core. And I'm going to pick that wall. Don't want core. Let me think. 3.5. No, I do not want core. So let me back out of that. I'm going to go pick line because I want it to be on the face of the sheetrock, and I'm going to lock that. And now I want to extend that out to here. And in this one, unjoin elements, okay? Now then this one, I'll dimension it from the grid line to there. And make it 4 feet. Okay. And then no, I didn't want to join those. Sorry. I want to join that and then that. Okay. And we've got 6-inch slope here, slope there, and slope on the back. And then no definition on that. So let's finish our roof. Become invalid. Which ones? Oh, oh, that was in my section view here. Yeah, because that dimension I had there. Okay, not a problem. So I'm going to remove the reference. Okay. Still 1 foot. All right. Let's check that one. Still 4 feet. Okay. But you can see our overhang is like really lower than what it needs to be because it's still using the same peak here. So let's go back to here, edit a roof, edit footprint, align eaves, adjust height. Okay, and now you can see it added that pitch in. So let's check our overhang, our ridge distance, 15.8, 15.8. That's good. Let me go to my 3D view. Okay, and so there, ta-da, that got that roof, the main part of the roof fixed, and it's all one piece. Now the solution that Mr. Park came up with is to do a roof by extrusion from here. So we can go roof, extrusion, pick a plane, and I'm gonna pick the edge of that roof there. Okay. And we're gonna pick lines, and I'm gonna pick the top 2 edges of the roof there. Now this one, we'll have to bring it up till it joins there. Okay, and that had a 6-inch overhang, so we're going to leave that and that and that and that. And so we'll go, okay. All right, and so that got the roof made, but here's the issue is the graphics don't match up. I've tried several different things, joining and, all kinds of stuff. And it just, even when I did my extrusion here, I started it out like 1 inch out from the sketch. And then did a roof join. It doesn't make the graphics line up. So that's got the main roof done.